Welcome to all the attendees. You're joining us today for a very interesting discussion. And the topic of today's discussion is driving precision marketing at scale by harnessing the power of data. Before we start the discussion, I would like to introduce a brief introduction on MMA. MMA Impact Forum is a part of the global series which MMA hosts once in a year across 42 countries across the globe, across continents like US, Latin America, Europe, Africa, Middle East, and of course, Asia Pacific, where we are. MMA designed the event to help marketers enhance and build their modern marketing capabilities with its core narrative. MMA brings in brands, agencies, tech enablers, mobile providers, and the entire advertising and marketing ecosystem under one roof to share, to learn, to guide, to discuss, and to implement solutions against challenges with key data or insights that collectively help the entire industry to shape the future. This is why the theme for this year's virtual impact is Shape the Future of Modern Marketing. With that, I would like to introduce our panelists for the day today. Let me welcome our first panelist, Eka Sugiarto, Head of Media, Unilever Indonesia and SEAA.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Eka. Welcome to the panel today.
Hi,
Thank you. I would also like to introduce our second panelist, Anggi Paramita. She's the Head of Media for Samsung Electronics Indonesia.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Rishi.
Hello, Anggi. Welcome to both of you for today's discussion. Let me start the discussion by building some context. I think in today's digital and connected world, we've got consumers connected in offline world and online world. And that's why it is very important for us to understanding a consumer's 360-degree view helps all the CMOs understand, identify, engage, and acquire consumers at scale. And with that, I would like to ask my first question to Eka around what exactly are you doing to achieve a 360-degree view of the consumers? Eka, we would like to know your thoughts around it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the question. I think 360-degree view becomes the almost new terminology for the data holy grails, where we collected all of the holistic information around how we can market effectively to people, to our consumers. And basically, it has a clear implication to marketing effectiveness and host the data that matters. At the same time, perhaps while literally we say this 360-degree, it may not be the 360-degree in real sense, because what happened is we need to really look at the data that matters to us, and to really make sure that we are getting towards the right direction. We utilize the help of technology solutions like data platform, cloud platforms, partnership with data providers, and also with partner at large. We do have organization and teams looking at this, and also a system which really informs us in really building the knowledge and intelligence.
Thank you, Eka. I completely agree with that thought. And we would love to hear, Anggi, your views on what are you doing to achieve a 360-degree view of a consumer?
Okay. Basically, echoing from what Bu Eka mentioned previously, for me, I think it's becoming a principle for a brand to build a relationship with consumer to become a mutual and full of beneficial experience. What we mean by relationship is how the brands obtain a complete and comprehensive view of the customers by aggregating data from touch points across the consumer journey. It's not only about the collections, but how we extract and also utilize the data. Hence, it's accessible and then also actionable across multiple purpose from different platform activations. Of course, it's something that is not built quickly. It's built over time, but all in all, it's not solely about collecting the data, but it also, in the end, it's all about how to use the data and ensure the customer satisfaction by ensuring we address the right offer to the right profile at the right time.
Yeah, I think I would agree with Anggi, your thoughts as well. Um, Collecting the data is not enough. Collecting and using it for a purpose and achieving that precision marketing at scale is important. So what do you do with that data after collection is also equally important, and how do you treat it? So with that, I would want to move to the next question. I would like to understand, and this question is directed to Eka. Eka, we would love to hear how your organization is approaching this problem of leveraging first-party data to guide your marketing campaigns.
Yes, I think when it comes to how we approach leveraging the data, first I would also like to bring you into the some of the disciplines which are relevant in this area, because what happened is when it comes to leveraging data, a lot of guidelines around how we responsibly leverage the data, really make sure that we do an active consent management with the consumers, as well as applying a principle of governance, which actually make sure that our relationship with our consumers are built based on mutual understanding of what the data that are collected is going to be used for. And therefore, this is very much the first step of hygiene before being able to leverage and get more marketing effectiveness, more like relevance out of the data that are there. And that then continues into the applying the principles to make sure that the audience targeting is also followed by the right asset getting into that audience at the right stage of the purchase funnel, for instance. And at the same time, we create the cycle to really learn from these audiences as and when we are building the relationship with them. And the data-driven marketing is also one of the elements in making sure that the precise marketing also are ongoing. So it is quite a rich process from the data itself into the creative, how it is getting inspired, and also the test and learn kind of cycle that is there.
Sure, Eka. I think I agree with that. The 2 points that you made there was having data as a responsibility. So governance of that data is extremely important, because now you're sitting with a large responsibility of having consumer data with you. So that is the first point. And the second is connecting the dots between that intelligence around consumers and driving it up to the asset, the creatives, the messaging that you are taking forward is extremely important, stitching the entire journey. So that's, I think, very important. Completely agree with your thoughts. I would want to move to the next question and changing the topic a bit from data to the future of data, which is in a world without cookies. And this question I would like to hear, Anggi, your thoughts on, because the world is moving towards a cookie-less ecosystem. We all know that cookies will be deprecated in the next few quarters. I would love to know, what role does mobile play, considering mobile is the dominating platform in Southeast Asia? Most of the consumers have their first internet experience, and most of the time they spend on out of all the screens on mobile. What role does mobile play in defining your audience strategy?
Yeah, thank you, Rishi. So mobile is definitely having a big role for advertisers like us as a leading technology and mobile phone company. So yeah, mobile is very important, and beyond cookies in mobile, there are multiple parameters that we can leverage actually. Across data signals that are widely available beyond cookies, the first option is, of course, we are looking at the demographic targeting, which is available from people-based platform like giant social networking, and also the in-app mobile platforms, yeah, like mobile gaming app, and then also mobile video platform like OTT will play an important role for sure to reach the relevant mobile audience. Other audience data signal parameter that is also important other than cookies is contextual targeting. And I think this is very important since this is a layer of brand safe intelligent parameter as well. Other than that, we can look at in-market audience as well. and then also some options to do placement whitelisting, which relevant to brands technology verticals. In our case, this is, for example, is the whitelisting from technology content verticals like GSM Arena, Jagat Review, The Verge, and other tech publishers. And I guess better in the post-cookie era, finding the right audience is going to become a bit more complex, yeah. Hence, the reliance on first-party data will increase significantly, and that's why we should start leveraging the first-party data as the key solution to this challenge. A shift from having a data management platform that is used to collect cookies, for example, nowadays, will need to transform a bit to a platform that is collected non-cookie data, such as device ID or lead-based data like email address, which is going to be very powerful, I think, because it's going to be actionable across platforms, even more within an organization across platforms as well.
Great, Anggi. Thank you for sharing those views. I agree with all of them. I think first-party data and the new age apps, like the gaming apps, the OTT apps, the engagement around that, it's extremely important. I would want to ask the same question to Eka now, but Eka, while you're answering that question around how does mobile play or help you define the audience strategy, I would also like to hear your thoughts after that on how your organization, or give us some examples on how your organization has been able to achieve precision marketing at scale through the first-party data.
Right. Thank you. And thank you for the very comprehensive answer from Anggi earlier. I think I wouldn't have too many points to add, but of course, Indonesia is the mobile-only market. So mobile is the first and the last of this like digital interaction for many homes, for many sets of people, and therefore I think my only additional point will be that put mobile in mind when it comes to designing the assets, the consumer experience, the journey, and therefore like having that focus to really then after the data, the experience, and therefore that becomes a much better way of a brand or a business interacting with consumer through mobile. So in a sense, perhaps some of the special or different data points that mobile will help us to collect and address some of these communications assets or messages. We will become almost like the day-to-day proofing for us in this market. Some of the anecdotes, if I then go into the next question, I think to really go into a certain level of experimentation, living with the precision marketing and also data-driven marketing in mind. Some anecdotes will be how this gets landed into the organization. So I think I would recall three years ago, global mandate, which is saying that, okay, from now we do this data-driven marketing, and within a month, we are asked to basically change the practices. So in a way, it is not easy to land some discontinuous practices after everybody say, okay, this is the way we do things. We have our main assets and main reach plan on TV, and then do some additionals on digital. But somehow those are all the belief or the ways which were very much challenged when we first step into precision marketing, because then your quality of delving into the consumer's life, consumer's insight, motivations are also on the test. And yeah, I would say that after that, some of this ecosystem were actually being prepared for us within the company, and that actually allows us to be more agile and doing the test and learn at scale, and at the same time also allowing us to add more talents in the area. Previously, no muscles were existent before. So I think some top down and then some like really dynamic test and learn. Of course, in between there are like lots of success, lots of learnings, and therefore it becomes a very continuous process even until now.
Sure. Thank you for sharing those examples, Eka. I think it's interesting that we started our discussion with 360-degree view of the consumer, understanding their online and offline behavior. We also spoke about cookie-less world. We spoke about why and how mobile is important, because it gives us the offline journey of consumers. It gives us an online journey of consumers as well. Now, so clearly data and mobile play a very important role. I would want to move to the last part of our discussion. And my last question to both of you is that what is the most important piece of advice you would give to marketers who are looking to drive precision marketing at scale? And I would love to start with the answer with Anggi first.
Yeah, thank you, Rishi. So in order to drive a successful precision marketing at scale, in its practice, my advice would be to remember 3 important pillars. And it's very simple, I say. First one is the market segmentations. Second is personalization. And then third one is, of course, the measurement. About the market segmentation, first one, which will translate to our audience strategy and targeting. In our simple example, as a brand, audience can be classified based on their interest profile, such as gamers, business professionals, or social networkers. That's an example. But what we need to remember as well, we have to ensure that each segment that we define has a good size and scalable. That's the first one. And then the second one is about personalizations, which will define what kind of messaging strategy and offers that is relevant to each of the audience needs. In our simple case that I mentioned previously, the audience example for gamers can be served with the feature that they will need, which is battery, for example. Or for social networkers, as they like to post and take pictures, they will care more about the camera feature, for example. And then the third one, of course, about measurement, which is very practical nowadays. Everybody is doing it, but we have to ensure on how you define the success of the precision campaign, what method you use to track result, and what action you will need to take for further result optimizations. And I think as we have done some successful cases of the precision marketing campaign as well across some of our products, this practice has been quite satisfying because we have more power to produce more relevant content that hits the spot with the right people. And this means for us less noise and more outcome result. And the last trick, which is doing it with automation, because it produces efficiency, boosts engagement, as well as the conversions.
Thank you so much, Anggi. I think those are very important inputs, and a lot of our attendees on the call, the session today, would benefit from that. Eka, I would like to take the question to you as well and hear your thoughts and advice to the attendees today.
Okay, super. I think I would actually second many of what Anggi has mentioned earlier, which is really on how specific we go into all of the precision marketing elements and really make sure that the interactions are basically like translating into great experience. I would actually like to highlight a slightly different piece of advice, which is more on precision marketing is actually marketing at heart. It's enabled by technology, it's enabled by data. And we do believe that within marketing, to people, there are three principles that still hold whichever way you're doing marketing. So the first one is to put people first. And yeah, if these people are people, your user, your audience, they need to come first, which means every effort to basically deep dive into what they're up to, what they like, what they find valuable, is something which is the first piece of information that needs to be there and needs to guide you as a marketer to be a lot more sensitive, a lot more relevant at the end, and a lot more effective as a total result. And the second pillar that we normally also quote is really to build brand love. So in a way, really utilize many facets of your brands and how it communicates, how it addresses consumer needs, and what's the brand purpose, what it really aims to do to improve people's life at the front and center, which inspire us to create assets and the expression from the brands. And that is even more important if your brand is getting specific into some consumer segment. And therefore, this is where personalization or mass customization is really taking the best benefit, because at the end, what you want is to really get this advocacy out of people in different parts of your consumer journey. And the third pillar, which we believe really completes all of the thoughts and the logic behind, is really to unlock the magic. And unlocking the magic is basically to really ensure that of course you have the technology, you have the all the thinking, the logic and all, and also at the same time you have your eyes set on your KPIs, your business outcome, and basically to combine this logic of achieving all of this with the magic on how this can get to people in a way that is compelling, in a way that is memorable, and something that makes them feel so good about what they have just seen or heard. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Eka. Those are very, very useful insights. Clearly very important, and can't agree more about each part that you both mentioned about segmenting the market, personalization, making it scalable as well, and also measurement, and also the interesting parts around the brand love, finding what consumers see or identify as something valuable to them. Only if we understand that would we be able to engage with the consumers more closely. So great. So I want to give a big thanks to both of you for contributing to this interesting discussion today. I think a lot of insights that you have both shared today with us would go a long way for some of our attendees that would be watching this. I just want to wrap up some of the key takeaways from our discussion today. So clearly, in order to drive personalization at scale, leveraging first-party data, we need to understand the consumers, we need to identify them. And in order to do that, we need to be able to create a 360-degree view of our consumers. And how's that possible? That is possible if we understand them in the online world and offline world. What do they do, who they are, where do they go, what do they love, all of that. So creating a 360-degree view of the consumers is very, very important. The other key takeaway, I think, that came out was collection of data is important, but how do you leverage that data? You need to track that data and then leverage that data, because collection is just the first step of the entire process. Leveraging at scale is important. And with that element, I think it came during our discussion that holding data or collecting data is such an important and big responsibility that we should be able to define the governance around the data, around consumers, because with data comes a lot of responsibility. With that, we also spoke about how mobile plays a very, very important role, especially in Southeast Asia, which is literally a mobile-first region. So mobile plays a very important role in collecting and understanding our consumers, both in online and offline world. In order to prepare for a cookie-less world, which I think there were interesting suggestions from the group here on leveraging other apps, leveraging gaming, leveraging OTT platforms other mobile apps that can provide a lot of information and help build the consumer insights. So I want to give a big thanks to both of you. I think very, very interesting inputs. And I want to thank the attendees that are listening to us and watching us today. With that, I would want to just leave a last message. If there are any questions for Eka or Anggi or for myself, I would leave an email ID that you could connect us with, and we would try to answer your questions. The email ID is indonesia@mmaglobal.com. You would, if you have any questions, please send us those questions, and we will get those answers with the help of MMA team. I would repeat that. It's indonesia@mmaglobal.com. Thank you so much, Eka, for your time today. And thank you, Anggi, for your time today as well. Great talking to both of you.